Hello, I'm Karen and I'm a weekend craftaholic, and today I wanted to talk you through my Project Life album for 2017. If you've not heard of Project Life before, I would definitely check out BeckyHiggins.com. She's a lady who created this concept, and you'll find lots of information on that website. I got lots of inspiration from other YouTubers, and I would say this is the first time I've done Project Life. I started back in September and worked my way back, so I had a full year for 2017. So this is me and my family. This is just a facing sheet for us, for the Boltons, and I'm just pointing out some of the different design embellishment styles that I do like. Because it is a large sheet, I just needed a bit of a filler as well, so I've just added in a few extra pictures on this sheet, which just list their names as well for the family. So this page I'm going to show you now is actually my favourite design, design A, of the inserts that you can buy. I like the fact that there's a mix of these 6x4 sheets as well as the 3x4, so the album is 12x12 inch in size. And there's lots of different designs that you can use. So you can see here, this is my January to date. Now, because I was working backwards, I have just done a full spread per month. A lot of people do a full spread by week. It's not something that I can commit to be honest. There's a lot of work involved just keeping up to date by month. So I've decided just to use my album as a monthly view. And this really is just a capture of journaling, photos, and lots of sentiments as well, and embellishments just to make it look good. I have got a mix of Project Life cards as well as other journaling cards that I can get in the shops locally here in Australia. But as you can see, generally I've got 2 pages per month. So that was January. I'm now moving on to February. And what also I've done, I've noticed a lot of YouTubers keep the same Project Life album cards for the entire year. I purposely decided that every month I wanted to be a different colour scheme. So you can see this one is a nice pink choice. I do try and keep the embellishments of a similar format and for consistency, and have 3 of each. And I will use filler cards as I'm showing here as well if I don't have enough photos for that month. I do also make sure I keep at least 1 card for journaling. I know it's not very clear on the screen here, but you can obviously see it close up. So this was my March. That was my first shaker pocket that I tried to do. Again, that was just an inspiration I found on YouTube. And I also struggled as well trying to get more pictures on than I wanted. So these pictures are quite small. And as I've gone forward in time, I have actually gone a little bit better in being able to print out to the right size to get them 3x4 or 6x4. So you'll see I've made a lot of the embellishment styles myself. It's definitely, I don't use kits as a lot of people use. I generally just use what's in my stash. Now this particular month of March, we did have visitors from the UK, so I did also do a separate spread for them, as you can see here. And this really is what I like about Project Life. Although you've got the inserts to follow and the journaling cards, you can do whatever format works for you. So some months I only have 1 page. March, for example, I've got 4 pages dedicated to it. So moving on to April, again, there's different colour schemes, but a consistency across the spread, which I do really like. This was my first attempt at actually stamping on a photograph, and it's at this time that I started to do a lot more stamping, use of washi tape as well as use of chipboards as well. So it is a great way of practicing things that maybe I would normally do while card making and putting it in the album. So you can see May as well. This is more of a green theme. These were a kit that I actually got from the Reject store here in Australia, and they actually have quite a lot of coordinating cards with embellishments, which I do love. We don't get an awful lot of the Project Life range here in Australia, unfortunately. So you can see here for June, July, although I did have a lot going on in June, I didn't have a lot of photos, which is a bit of a surprise because we did actually go away twice in June. So I've just picked some highlights in there as well as keeping some souvenirs from the trip. July as well, it was my husband's birthday, so the theme really around that is more to do with his birthday as well. I think if I'd have done the month at the time, I probably would have had more to put in there. So looking on August, for example, this was when I actually made a trip back to the UK. So there was, again, a full spread on here. And I think if I'd wanted to, I could easily have spanned this over another couple of pages. What I've done here as well, whilst I was on the trip, because I knew I had Project Life in mind, I did start to keep some souvenirs of the trip, so tickets and so on of places that I'd visited. On this month particularly, September, you can see the theme again going from a different colour, more purples and pinks. So I do like the idea of swapping it up each month. I wouldn't like to be constricted with just an entire pack for the full year. This month actually is also the first month I used a lot more liquid pearls to try and embellish, and some washi tape as well that I'm just pointing out here just to break it up as well. So moving into October, again you can see the colours changing slightly. Definitely like using my alphas and getting rid of those out of the stash, as well as still putting the pictures on. So quite a lot of selfies in October. So yeah, it's good to look back on the months as well. November, again, I guess really it's just a matter of picking out the highlights and what you want to include in there. I have thought, now that I'm entering into 2018, I'll actually put a lot more journaling in between as hidden journaling, and this was December. So I do also have a separate album for December, and it's a scrapbooking album that I started 10 years ago, and I'll continue to do that and put most of the pictures and highlights in that and just keep this as a one page. So this is the start of my 2018. I've got some hidden journaling in here, my wishes for the year, and just a few photos from the start of the new year. So I hope you liked my little flip through. Actually a lot quicker than I thought it was, which is probably a blessing in disguise. But I hope you did like it. I hope it's inspired you. There's lots of great YouTubes out there, Project Life week reviews, so please have a look at that if you're interested as well. Thank you very much for watching this through to the end. I really do appreciate it.